Hi, you're watching Business Basics. I'm your host, Mike Zahora, and today's guest is Matt Astifan. Hello, everyone. Welcome to TPNN, the Profile Netcasting Network, broadcasting from the Profile in beautiful downtown Vancouver. Brought to you by Mr. Taxes. Visit them at mrtaxes.ca. We're going to get started. We're going to go right into the interview portion. We're going to start off with, can you tell us about yourself, your business, and how you got started in online marketing?
Yeah, sure. So my company is web friendly, and what I do is social media training for small businesses. So I show people basically how to get customers using things like Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, Twitter. So basically it's like using online marketing, but using all these kind of new tools that I think are a lot easier to use than optimizing a website and learning web development and that sort of thing. So that's kind of what I focus on.
Okay, and what do new businesses need to know to start marketing themselves online?
I think that what a lot of businesses miss out on is to build a community first. So a lot of people want to just go onto Facebook and figure out how to make money as fast as possible.
Okay.
And I think it's a wrong approach. I think you want to go for more of the community approach, where you build a fan page, or it could be a group, or it could be whatever. I mean, it could even be an ongoing event or a podcast like what you're doing, right? And have some people that are consistently listening to you on a frequent basis. So, you need to get, it's better to have, one person, hear from you or see you 10 times than to have 10 people each see you once.
Gotcha.
And so it's kind of building that frequency with the community before trying to capitalize on it and make a bunch of money. So that's the main thing that I see a lot of small businesses doing, is going on there with the, main objective right away is to make money, where of course we all want to make money, but you make a lot more money when you have a community. I mean, that's when you can really flourish. I think that Seth Godin said, someone else told me this, I can't remember who, that if you had 1,000 raving fans, you could become a millionaire. So it's about finding those 1,000 raving fans. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And so what social media sites work best for small businesses?
I think it depends on who's doing the social media and really their personality. Okay. I feel like Twitter versus Facebook versus YouTube, it's personality based is what I see. People who are extremely outgoing, they like to get on camera, they do a YouTube channel. I've seen people build 1 million subscribers on YouTube in less than a year. I've seen several YouTubers do that.
Yes.
Same thing goes on Twitter. I mean, I've seen people get tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of followers within a year, and they become this new voice in their community, which is amazing. I prefer Facebook. I like to have this ongoing show. It's kind of like a reality show where I update my friends about what I'm doing and that sort of thing, and it just builds more more character and more deeper relationships with all the weak ties that I have on Facebook. So that's just my choice. So I think that every business is kind of different. And it also does depend on, the different types of businesses. I mean, if you do, e-commerce and you're selling to women, for example, Pinterest has become very popular in the last year, so that could be a good market for you. So there's all different types of markets.
Now, would there be a different approach for, B2B businesses as opposed to B2C?
Yeah, when I first started doing online marketing and social media, I was focusing on helping B2B. And the main thing was that it took a lot of relationship building. So a lot of going out and meeting people and establishing these relationships, which would pay off down the road in the future in many ways, in many great ways as well. And you end up making a lot of good friends by networking in that way. And I still love doing that. But then I want to find more ways to kind of automate my business. One of my passions was to travel. I know a lot of people want to travel. So that was one thing that I started doing is finding how I can automate the systems that are, generating new leads and then turning leads into people who, want to do business with me, so on. So I look more, now I'm more into the B2C area, where I'm looking at more ways of kind of setting up softwares and systems that can kind of automate the initial relationship that you can build with customers and with prospects. A lot of it does work in the B2B area as well, but I think kind of the focus or the mental shift that people have to make when kind of building community online and so on is a little bit different when you go B2B. I think it's more if you want to get in front of, those people that you want to do business with, and, meet them for coffee if they're in town, or talk to them on the phone or on Skype, and you can build that initial relationship through social media. But it's just a little bit of a different mind shift and different types of time commitments and how you use your time.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what are some of the small things that businesses should avoid? I've seen recently, like, the whole, Facebook meltdown on, people just going crazy and commenting on and getting into a yelling match, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Besides that, what are some of the other things that businesses should avoid?
Yeah, I think that don't talk about religion or politics on Facebook.
Okay.
is my rule.
Okay.
No, but what I find a lot of small businesses, what happens is they look to large corporate brands as like, look how they market. They're huge companies. I should market like that, and they don't realize that those large companies are doing branding, which is a lot different than what a small business needs to do, which is to find customers. And so the process of marketing, that's called direct response marketing, and that's what a small business should do, is generate the leads. That way their potential prospects are in their pocket, and they can go back and reach out and communicate with them whenever they need to, as opposed to large brands. They're not going to do that sort of thing. They want, like McDonald's will run bus stop signs and stuff like that, because they just want to remind people to come back to McDonald's. And the same thing happens when someone's starting a business. They look at, I'll use McDonald's as another example, how McDonald's has like a very large array on their menu. They've got, I don't know how many, let's just say 50 different items on their menu. And they think that in order to be successful, they also need to have lots of things on their menu. And so they go into business and they do all these things. They do 5 or 6 different services. Sometimes they're not even related to each other. Yeah. And I think it's really important when you start a business, regardless of, before you even get into marketing, is that you're focusing on doing one thing really well. And, when McDonald's first started, they sold a hamburger. When Starbucks first started, they had one blend of coffee. Mm-hmm. Like every company, even like Walmart wasn't like a huge warehouse store when it first started. It was a smaller grocery store that, sold, a minimal amount of items, So every like huge business that you see out there all started with that one product. And I, whenever I have people, either in my workshops or I'm consulting with them, and, they're kind of all over the map and where they want to go with their marketing, but usually it's just because they've got so many things that they're doing all at one time. And it's really important to just narrow it down and just do one thing really well. And I think once you do that, then you could learn how to market that one thing really well, as opposed to trying to market many things and then diluting your brand and what it is that you do, and how people perceive you as the entrepreneur or you as the business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you're talking about, business growing and stuff like that there. At what point does a business, like the business owner, go from doing their own social media to hiring somebody like you to do their online social media marketing?
I think it's personality based. I always recommend that someone do their own social media if they can. If they like doing it. Okay. Some people, they'll take training, they learn how to do it, and they just say, this is not what I want to spend my time doing, which is fine. You could hire somebody else to do it. I recommend, you got to find the right person. Any hire is wrong. I teach a program that trains people on how to do that for other business. It's called the Social Media Director Program. And, the whole purpose is, how do you set up more automated systems? That way you could do it in a more time efficient manner and do it in a way that will get engagement. There's actually ways we can actually kind of guarantee it in a way, right? So if you don't want to be an expert in social media, you can go and hire somebody at any point in time. I think it's a good idea. Okay. I was just talking to the girl outside here where we're recording the show, and she was saying how she was managing the community on social media and that sort of thing. And I think that's great, and just her whole outlook on it was that, she was building a community for the space, right? Yeah. So, okay. And I think that's great too. So I think it's important to get started on that right away. One other little thing with it is anytime there's a new social network out, if you're the first one on it, you can get a huge network really fast. Yeah. Like when Pinterest first came out, everyone went on it. They have thousands of people following them on Pinterest. And, I was on Twitter very early on, and I ended up getting thousands of people on my Twitter. And so the later you start, I think it's becoming harder to grow a network. Like it was much easier when all these social networks first came out. So the longer you wait, I think people are actually at a disadvantage. I think you should get started as soon as possible because it's going to be easier today than it's going to be in the next few years. And if a new social network comes out and is trending in your market, and you know you're hearing about it, get a jump start and get on there on day one. You know, because people are just there like adding people. No one knows what the network is yet. They're just following each other. So you know everyone's just kind of trying to figure it out at the same time, and you can build a huge network really fast when one of those new ones kind of jumps in.
Okay, so I guess what are your thoughts on like Google Plus, right? That's kind of, I guess, the newest player in the area.
I think it's interesting. I'm not really using it. I'm not seeing a whole lot of engagement. Like, you know, I saw one guy, he's a video blogger, and he talked about how I think he had nearly 1 million people following him on Google Plus. He was a Google Plus fanatic for a long time, for about a year. And he said he would post there and get like, you know, crickets. He would post on Facebook, and he had like 5,000 fans on Facebook, and he had nearly 1 million on Google Plus. And he would get, you know, dozens of comments and likes and all that kind of stuff on Facebook, tons of engagement. But then on Google Plus, you know, nothing was happening, right? Google's, you know, pushing the incentive for lots of SEO juice and all that kind of stuff. So there's lots of cool features that are in Google Plus. Google Hangouts obviously is really awesome. So we'll see what happens with it in the future. I have trust in Google to be able to like do something with it. They've got people on it now. You know, anyone who was signing into their Gmail was asking us to create a Google Plus account. The new YouTube accounts are all connected to your Google Plus account. So they're really kind of forcing people into it, I think, in a way, which is good. I mean, it's fine. I don't have a problem with it. But, you know, until the engagement is really there and people are paying attention to what people are saying on Google Plus, you know, I haven't seen a whole lot of use. And I've looked, you know, because I want to add it to my curriculum in my workshops. I'm trying to find a technique someone could use, you know, to get a lot of leverage, drive lots of traffic or something, you know, and besides the SEO things that you could do, which, you know, anyone can Google and find out, you know, there's not a whole lot of like social media strategies that I've seen people use. And if anyone's watching this and knows one, maybe you could let me know about it as well, because I've done lots of research trying to find it.
Yeah, you put it in the comments below on YouTube.
Yeah, if you've got a good Google Plus technique for driving traffic, you know, getting lots of customers, you can put in the comments below this, that's for sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned your program for social media. If somebody's interested in learning more about social media, how can they find out more about your program?
Yeah, on my website, it's webfriendly.ca, and I have a newsletter that I will email people frequently with different tips and, you know, different events that are coming up and that sort of thing. I've got the next social media director program, which happens in Vancouver. That one's happening in September. And I've got another program. I'm actually putting together a smaller, you know, 4.5-hour workshop, and I'm just featuring 2 other speakers. So we're not announcing it right now, but it'll be announced in the next couple of weeks. And then I'll be a smaller workshop next month. And I've got some online programs coming really soon. So I've got a whole Facebook marketing program that's going to be out really soon, even within the next couple of weeks as well.
Okay, and if somebody wants to follow you on Twitter?
My Twitter, I use my personal Twitter is Matt's Media. And my business one is WebFriendly, so at WebFriendly. And same thing, if you look at Matt's Media or WebFriendly on the web, on any social network, you'll find me.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Any other ways people can contact you?
You can email me at learn@webfriendly.ca.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, Matt, thanks for being on.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. This is Mike Zahora, and this is Business Basics. Thank you for watching.